received a message from Texas Shrugged Book, and I highly recommend to sub his channel. He does very good work. He's about 2,000 subs. He deserves a lot more than that. He completely exposes Sebastian Bellin, this Brazilian basketball player who played, he's now retired, who used to play in Belgium. I mean, you cannot fake real, and this basketball player is a horrible actor. They love to use celebrities, pro athletes with their psyops, like I've stated before. I'm not going to go on too long. I'm going to get right into the video. And again, Texas Shrugged Book does a really good job with this video. And again, sub his channel.
You won't believe what you're about to see in this video. You may need to watch it twice. This is incredibly important. For now, I'll show you everything twice. I have to get this right. Does this look like a man who was thrown 50 feet into the air from a bomb blast? That's all you need to know for now.
In that moment, you've been shot.
It's not poor reporting because this CBS reporter was at his bedside.
From the explosion, from the gunshot, from all those things that happened, I just really haven't, I guess the gratitude is what I feel.
And I asked him, Josh, in that moment, you've been shot.
Remarkable interview, Vladimir Duthier for us in Brussels.
From the explosion, from the gunshot.
Okay, this is phase 2. Let's look at the wounds. There's a tourniquet tied around his left leg. Look at his hips. Do you see any blood at all from the knees up on the jeans? No.
The power of the blast sent the 6'10" athlete flying more than 50 feet through the air.
I remember falling down and my hip just exploding. I look down and, you know, I see like massive bones just sticking out.
Okay, just said massive bones sticking out. I'll show you that again. The gesture in his hospital bed was to his right hip. Do you see massive bones sticking out of his right hip? If there were massive bones sticking out, there would be blood up and down his jeans from his belt to his knees. There's no blood.
You know, I see like massive bones just sticking out.
Why is he motioning to his right, our left, when that tourniquet there is around his left leg? And a tourniquet stops a massive release of blood. There's no blood on the jeans.
I hear the second explosion. I think that's really what saved me because I was already on the ground when the explosion, the second one went off.
Helpless and bleeding out, a stranger dragged him to safety.
And he's the one that put kind of a cloth to stop the bleeding on my leg because my leg was completely detached and I was screaming.
He was walking to airport security when the first bomb went off. The power of the blast sent the 6'10" athlete flying more than 50 feet through the air.
I hear the second explosion. I think that's really what saved me because I was already on the ground. And then right when I turned the corner, I heard the first explosion. And I look back and I see kind of all the debris and I start hauling, you know, and hindsight, I should have ran away towards the old B gates. And, but anyways, then I remember falling down and my hip just exploding when the explosion, the second one went off. And I think what got my legs is the debris falling from the ceiling.
Okay, then what happened to, if that's what got your legs, what happened to being thrown 50 feet? Multiple reports, multiple news outlets. Not the fog of terrorism. The guy that sat down at your bedside said you were thrown 50 feet.
Something hit me, like I got shot in the hip, and I fell to the ground. My leg was just completely severed.
My leg was just completely severed? Did he not understand his line? Severed? Now he's saying from an ESPN interview, he's saying he was shot in the hip. It wasn't from being thrown 50 feet. There wasn't even a gunman at the airport.
I remember seeing an explosion, the first explosion near the pharmacy at the airport.
Now he says he remembers seeing an explosion near the pharmacy at the airport, but then CBS said he was in the first explosion. And then he admitted he was in the first explosion because he was already on the ground, and that's what saved him from the second explosion. But in another clip, he said he saw the first explosion and then ran away. What's up?
Down and not seeing his legs. This is the way he described it to us.
He was hit in that blast in the airport and then debris pouring down on top of him.
I look down and, I see like massive bones just sticking out. And then I hear the second explosion. I think that's really what saved me because I was already on the ground.
This person, Mason Wells, doesn't say he was picked up and thrown in the air even 5 feet, let alone 50 feet. Look at his face. Bandaged up. Look at this guy's face. This guy's ready for GQ. There is not a cut on him, and he was in a blast and around 2 blasts. So, of course, he must have been shot. He would look like that mummy if he was in a blast. He must have been shot. But there wasn't a shooting. You figure.